I said, yeah, that makes perfect sense, man.
CESAR Soto. Holy shit. Hello, he's connecting.
Connecting to audio.
He's connecting.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, hold on to your butts.
Hello.
Hold them tight.
Hold them tight. Oh, boy.
Welcome, Caesar.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good.
Hey, so how come I can't see you guys? I just see like
a monkey head.
Guys.
Oh,
yeah. You don't want to see me, man. I'm ugly.
We're ugly as fuck. So
I got a face for radio here.
I can do it. I can do that. Hold on.
Yeah, let's see your faces.
All right, there's Bart.
I'm in my lovely study today.
Put your shirt on, man.
All right.
Oh Jesus.
Hey man, it's hot in here.
If I'd known
that's why I didn't have video. Yeah.
If I'd known we were going to be on video, I would have put on my Rasputin shirt for you.
All right, cool, man. Hey, thanks for picking one of those up. By the way, I like your library.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's just because my room's a fucking shithole.
It's very 1800s.
Yeah. I was doing some classes for work, and the teacher wanted us to be like on camera for the full day. I'm like, okay. So in school, I went with a good library background.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Everything's good, man. Just kind of sitting around. Just finished tracking some vocals for my project.
Better.
I hate using that word, project.
Yeah, me too.
I just because project doesn't seem so serious. You know what I mean? I just finished tracking vocals for my own shit.
Right.
There we
Hell
go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just got through a verse on like the fourth recorded song. Actually, I have a shit ton of songs for Man the Mute, but I've been releasing them in singles. Actually, I've only released one single. That's like on Spotify. You know what, dude? I'm sorry I didn't send a link for the stuff. I was gonna send one of the new tunes, but I can't just yet because it's not debuting until like the 4th of June.
That's all right. That's not a problem. I did grab the one that you released, so we should have that ready. I did a little digging into the back catalog, so we might play some things there with your approval. I got a couple of Ministry tunes. I grabbed a couple of Pissing Razors tunes.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah. So we can maybe dig some of those out depending on how much time you have. If not, then we'll play them want to take up too much of your time.
Right. No, that's cool, man. I've been doing my like bicycle rides in the evening the past couple of days just because it's so damn hot here.
Right.
And you can't do them during the day, so I wait until the evening. That's the perfect time to do it.
Makes
perfect
sense,
time. People aren't driving around as drunk.
Right.
Very true. Very
always
true.
Always important for bike riding.
It was up to me. I would do it like super late, but the later it gets, the more chances you have of people running around driving intoxicated. So I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to go that way.
Yeah. No. That's,
no, definitely not.
Yeah. Not good, man. So, one of my all-time favorite questions to ask anybody I've ever talked to as far as interviews is like, you've been able to play all over the place. If you could play with one artist, dead or alive, you can bring them back from the dead, no matter who would you pick?
Dead or alive, I'd probably have to say probably John Bonham. That'd be great.
Dude, Howard Stern's always on how great John Bonham is, and I'm like, oh my god, listening to that the Levee Breaks, dude, that's been the most sampled song ever, right?
Yeah,
they said it's crazy. Like that guy had the way he drummed was special, Yeah,
think about like John Bonham's drumming with like modern like heavy guitars. That would be killer, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Imagine him in like a doom band.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like sludge metal or something.
Right.
And to think about it, I mean, when you think about it, that's where a lot of those beats originated from. You know what I mean? Those big, open, like just hard hitting beats.
Yep.
Like stuff like that and drummers like that, I really, really, really appreciate because, I mean, like he's a true example of how a drummer can drum without getting all tricky dicky and stuff, which is cool in its own respect, but it's definitely not my flavor, and I could appreciate it, and I could appreciate all the tricky dicky stuff.
Sure.
But for me, it's about like what serves the song, and he served like every song the way a drummer and a musician should really serve a song. Because I mean, simplicity is killer, man. I love to kind of just, you know, drown in a song and drown in the feeling of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So imagine that dude playing drums with like some modern heavy guitars. You could throw like, you know, you could throw some heavy grooves into what he plays.
Oh, totally. Well, yeah, and you think about it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Sampled so many times. It's so.
Yeah, so that would be totally cool. That would be a great starting point.
Right. Well, sure. Yeah. Right. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I write music, I write music with drum beats in mind first, and you know, since I've been doing this, man, the mute stuff, it's just me. I write, record, and form everything,
which is
awesome. Although I can play a little bit of like simple like beat drums, I program everything. But I program everything with the way I would picture a drummer playing it in mind. So it's real straightforward, and you know, that's what I hear first. I hear drumming. It's, you know, one of my favorite instruments. If I didn't play guitar, if I wasn't a guitar player in a band, I would be a bass player or a drummer.
Right.
Probably bass player first, because I really love playing bass, man.
Like, you know, and and I always feel bad for the drummer because they have the most shit to carry in. It's like so much, especially like, you know, I'm talking the underground scene, especially, you know. Oh yeah. You don't got roadies and shit. Like that's the poor drummer, man. It's like, man, he's gone to this car like 7 times. You try to help him.
And it's very expensive too. It's like if you break full, it's like, oh man, there's another $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, you break a string, like, you know, say bass, you're looking at, you know, $25, you know, $45 if you get some good strings.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're laying into cymbals, like, and I love
no, absolutely.
Like hard hitting drummers are my favorite drummers. I love drummers that lay into their fucking drums.
Yep.
Because it's all feel, and you know, it motivates you to just sound better.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a band here called Cyperna, and the drummer, dude, Sean he's unrelenting to those drums. I really feel like he's gonna just put his and there's a certain sound quality of that, man. It's unbelievable.
What's the name of the band?
Cyperna, Cyperna. Dude, that drummer is unbelievable, bro.
I mean, if we're throwing out a couple local names with sick ass drummers, I gotta throw out She Walks Without Legs.
Right, dude. Animal's nuts, dude.
She Walks Without Legs.
Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting name.
Yeah. Frank the drummer
without legs.
Yes.
Wow.
Such a great the whole band is great, but Frank the drummer, oh man. I make him listen to my stuff because we all go to, you know, local shows, so I'll play him my new stuff on like my phone. And I was like, Frank, whenever I'm programming drums and I don't know what to do, I think to myself, what would Frank do?
Hey, so what do you program drums on?
So I use a lot of different things. Right now, lately, I've been doing a little bit more organic. So I'm using like a Superior Drummer 2. I'm programming them mostly in Reaper.
Yeah.
But you know, when I get like really more into like the electronic stuff and industrial, I use a lot of Renoise. It's like a tracker. So like when you're looking at it, it looks basically like you're watching program like code go by, but it sounds like music.
Yeah.
But you know, I started on Fruity Loops like most people.
Okay.
But you know, I one of my best friends, you know, is a coder, and he's really into these trackers, and you know, he got me into Renoise. It took me like 2 years to learn it, like no joke. But you know, it's so great, it's so versatile, like, you do so much with it. But yeah, lately I've just been going a little more, like I said, organic, and just kind of Reaper, just kind of going with the flow, actually playing more of the instruments, you know. Yeah,
I started using I started using GGD, the Get Good Drums.
Yes. Oh, I have one pack from them with a Noob Sastry that did, he's such an amazing drummer. He actually programs all his own stuff. Like, he just puts out records himself, but it's got guitar in it. He doesn't really play guitar, but he can play enough to make noise and chop it up.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like sort of that like electronic, but like really heavy, like gent type kind of feel to it. I don't know how to describe it honestly, but you know, he plays all the drums, of course. But he has a pack. It's like a groove pack through Get Good Drums. So that's I'm familiar with the software, just haven't really gotten into it yet. So
yeah, crazy. I mean, you have to use Contact Player with it, but once you get used to it, it's pretty awesome actually. It snaps, man. The snares snap. The kick drums are punchy and warm, so you complement your bass tone in a mix when you're mixing.
That's awesome.
So all this makes me think, you know, I mean, I'm an older guy. We were talking earlier about buying albums and how much that meant to us as kids. Oh, yeah. Stuff. And you seem like the same, but now we're talking about this technology, and imagine like what we've seen. We've all seen this like crazy, almost melding of technology and music have kind of just become one thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's everything streaming, and you don't even have like digital, a tangible thing anymore, really, unless you're like me and you still buy the stuff. Do you prefer? I mean, obviously, look, for space, digital is the way to go because you could fit a whole lot more on a little tiny thing. But for me, like, I don't know, there's something about buying an album, man. Growing up, that was such a big thing. Was that like?
Oh yeah. It was a big thing, and for me, that was a huge thing. See, when I grew up, my oldest brother that was in the home is 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And I had another brother that was 4 years older than me, right? So my brother had this kick-ass record collection, so we would raid that record collection. And
Right.
part of that was opening the albums and like checking out the artwork and like freaking out on all the details when you would open up like an Iron Maiden album.
Right.
I remember listening to like Big Balls by AC/DC over and over and over again because it was just such a funny song when you were a kid.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yep.
Right. Big Balls, like on a record, like it's just like stuff like that. But I think part of it was like being able to hold the record and like just check out the artwork and read all the notes. And, that's when I started learning about like, wow, they're thanking people and like recording studios and gear.
So this leads me to my next question, because growing up was the same thing is like Guitar World magazine, dude. You wound up being in like Guitar World magazine and columns and this and that, dude. What is that like? Because to me, growing up, like, dude, Guitar World magazine, I wish I could get to that, Want to get there.
When I was a kid, this man, I'm talking about like in like elementary school into like junior high and even into high school. That was one of the coolest things that my folks got me was a subscription for Guitar World magazine.
Right.
So, I would study and I would research like, gear and, part of the coolest thing was like the ads and like, columns of new guitar players and stuff that you, hadn't heard of.
Right.
But just to answer your question, it was, pretty crazy, man. Pretty mind blowing. Like seeing, or like I did like a playthrough with Guitar World a couple of times. One of them was a Ministry song, and the second one was one of my instrumental songs that they ended up running, which was like pretty mind blowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's only right there. Yeah, that's it.
I saw those videos and they're amazing. I'm actually, we have a little group page on Facebook for the show. I'm probably going to post those after.
You should, for
people to check out. So cool to watch through, man.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's actually pretty cool, man. Because I think like since I was a kid, I've been able to kind of like live like my dream of everything that I used to picture when I was a kid.
Right.
Like has pretty much happened, because I I just envisioned at a young age, I envisioned myself playing in front of like crowds of people or being on tour or traveling, because I love traveling. And ever since I was a kid, I knew that I really, really loved traveling. When my dad would take us, to go visit family in California. So I always had this vision of these things happening. And now in my later life, I'm in my 40s now.
Yeah.
I can say like, wow, I think that played a part in like continuing some type of success in music, is just having the vision and having just having a passion for it. Like I'm still very passionate about music, just like I was when I was a little kid.
Right.
One of my best friends that I actually that has been in my life, one of the longest running friends that I have in my life. We started playing music together when we were about 14 years old, and we were talking about this the other day. I still see him almost every day, and we were talking about that the other day. We were talking about how when we listen to music or write music, I still feel like a kid, and I still picture those same things. When I'm writing my stuff or recording my stuff or listening back to a mix, I still picture like, playing in front of an audience and sharing that music with people,
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And I think having the passion and the vision is part of laying the groundwork to that stage or to the airwaves or whatever, what I mean? Or wherever it might, who knows, but people might not catch on to the music I write for, another 10, 15 years. But I know that when people do catch on to it, they'll understand and they'll listen and they'll feel how passionate I am about that.
Most definitely. One other link you have to absolutely put down on your little notepad there is, of course, where we're being broadcast on, which is Bull Spike Radio, bullspikeradio.com. It's run by two brothers with muscular dystrophy, bro, out of New York. And,
all right.
And, dude, they've been doing this like 10, 11 years, and maybe even longer now. It's just amazing that they're kicking ass and taking names, and so you definitely should check those guys out. Make sure you do.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Hey, I'm writing stuff down here, dude, because I like to learn.
Yeah, Turbo is the main dude you would talk to over there at Bull Spike, but you could talk to Josh too. You could talk to Scorpion. Yeah, absolutely, either guy. But if you hit up Bull Spike Radio, they would love to
I just wanted to know. I like to learn more.
Yeah, man. Me too.
So far, I have Cyperna, and She Walks Without Legs, and Bull Spike Radio. So,
yep.
And Continuum.
Oh, yeah.
I talk about good drummers. That guy's a machine. Darren Yardley is a goddamn machine. It's Continuum. Yeah, continuummetal.com is their official, I think, website.
Hey, where are you located, man?
We're in Connecticut. Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, and some dude, our third host, he's he's listening to us talk because this is kind of our jam. We're more industrial than he is, and he's probably smoking a little bit. So.
Yeah, doing his thing.
He's in New York, but we're both in Connecticut.
What part?
I'm in Waterbury, and
I'm in Prospect, next town over from him.
Right.
All right.
Like in the Valley area.
And so like,
cool.
So like, they call it the All-American Valley, but it's not. What
is the place that we used to play in Hartford? Was it the Webster?
Yep.
Yes, the Webster. Right. Yep. We've all played there. It's a great place.
It was a great place.
It's so long.
It's kind
of. I miss playing there. I've seen Ministry there, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I've never played there with Ministry, but I remember playing there with the Razors, and I remember playing not only the bigger venue, but we ended up playing like some small like
the underground.
Yeah, the underground. Webster
Underground. The Webster Underground was the connected on. It's like a little bar with a smaller stage. Yeah,
that was cool, man. I remember playing there the day after. This was probably I'd like to say this was in around 2000, but we did some oddly enough, it was the very first recording that the very first time I ever tracked with the Razors was in New Jersey. And
wow.
It was on tour after I joined the band, on tour and on a day off. They had these obligations to record before I was even in the band, and my buddy Matt was playing guitar. They were supposed to record a song for a Pantera tribute, which did happen. And I remember we learned the song in the RV, like after we played, I think after we played Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Okay.
We had a day off the next day. So that night, we ended up learning that song in the RV and recorded it in Jersey City. And after that, the next day, I believe we had a show in at that bar, the Webster Underground.
Yeah, the Webster Underground. That's awesome.
Because
that's so crazy. That's so
far away from New Jersey, Jersey City or New York City, right?
Well, yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah, we're pretty close. I used to deliver out to Jersey City every day for work.
Yeah.
Okay.
One time.
Yeah. So surprisingly enough, I have a great memory, man, and I remember just a shit ton about all the tours that I've been on.
All right, so do you remember like what's the best memory you've ever had, and what's the time when it was just like, damn, that really didn't go the way I expected?
Oh man, yeah, I think, I mean, I've had a lot of good, like best memories.
Yeah.
And I'll start off with the worst one.
All right, cool.
The worst one was, I think, probably what paved the way for me and like gave me thicker skin on the road is my dad was sick and my dad was dying, and I had to go through with a tour,
right?
Which was a lengthy tour, but there was really nothing I could do.
Right.
So you know, I made the choice to just go ahead and take off and go on tour, and that was you know, mentally that was a pretty hard tour to do.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You know. But I still did it. You know what I mean? I still did it because, of course. You know, there was nothing I could do. You know what I mean? Yeah. My dad was very sick. He had Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's.
Oh wow.
But I just did it, man. I was like, you know what? My dad's always been like the biggest supporter when I was a kid, and always pushed me to do whatever I wanted to do, as long as I did it right, and as long as I did it honestly,
right, and
as long as I did it with passion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
So that was the hardest tour I ever did, only because it just nothing to do. And I'll tell you what, when my dad died, we were on tour with Propane. So Propane, I have a lot of respect for that band. Gary Meskel, and at the time, Tom Klimchuk was in the band. Eric Matthews, and who else was in the band? And a gentleman by the name of Klinger, who lives Belgium now. But anyhow, those group of dudes were so awesome, and they were just straight up road dogs, and they still are road dogs. A lot of those dudes are not in the band anymore, but I remember playing in St. Louis, and no, actually, I'm sorry. I remember playing at the House of Blues in Chicago, and that night, my sister, right before the band went on stage, my sister told me that my dad was probably not going to last but another couple of days.
Right.
And to tell you the truth, there was no money back then, man. We didn't have any money to send me back home. I didn't have any money whatsoever. You know, I was lucky to like make $100 a week.
Right.
You know, and that was pretty lucky back then. You know what I mean? To be able to do that. I didn't have any kids at the time. I didn't, have a family of my own. So, was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. You know what I mean? But that night, it was a pretty painful night for me. And the next day, the dudes from Propane were at some hotel or motel outside of St. Louis, and they pulled me aside and they said, "Hey, we're going to buy you a plane ticket to go see your dad." So,
wow.
Yeah. So they got me a plane ticket. I I still have those plane tickets.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I flew out of Springfield, Missouri, and I came home, and my father passed on a Tuesday, and I was back on the road. I was back on a flight by Friday, the day he was buried, to do another show in, I'd like to say it was in, damn, how can I forget? Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Portland, Oregon. So, I mean, so
that's dedication.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty heavy. Yeah, that's a pretty heavy memory, man. And like I said, I have a great memory. So, you know, and I carry all that with me. Best memory.
There's so many, I'm sure.
Best memory was for sure was stepping out on stage for the very first time with Ministry.
Yeah, dude, that's gotta be so heady, bro. Oh
yeah, that was the first time in Adelaide, Australia, of all places. It wasn't even a states tour. Wow. My first show was in Australia with Ministry in front of 40,000 people.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty amazing.
Do your knees go a little weak? I mean, I would be like, you know, your adrenaline's got to be, oh my God, 40,000 strong people, like, just, oh my God. What's it like?
They let like a hungry, like, mammoth out of a cage. I just, like, you know, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, I was that second stringer that got moved up to starting team, and I just went in there and I did my thing, and that was probably the most rewarding, man, to be able to. I remember thinking, like, man, out of all the things that have happened at that point in the past 20 years, and all the ups and downs and all the struggles with trying to get bands off the ground. You know, and nearly giving up in the process. You know what I mean? For me, that was the most rewarding, because it was like you were put through a test. You know, for that amount of time. You know, I was put through many tests from the time that I left the Razors up until right before I joined Ministry. I had a big gap of trial and error, and many errors. There was more failures than rewards, but I wouldn't like trade that for anything. You know what I mean? Because in that 20 years, I'm not in those 20 years, I'd say, but in that time gap, whatever amount of time that was, you know, I was able to start a family. I was able to you know, get married. You know, able to have amazing children,
right?
And kind of just like,
and there's nothing better than that. There really is nothing better than that, really. Like,
yeah,
sincerely, you know?
and to have the music thing happen on top of that was like, it was weird.
Yeah, it's like a lottery ticket, man.
It was kind of like the universe put me through the shittiest things you could possibly go through. I'm talking about the shitty, and I'll be open about it. You know what I mean? It was like custody battles.
Sure.
The shittiest things that you could think of that could happen, you know, and it was just like, but the way I put it is like, well, okay, you're going to hand me a plate of shit and you want me to eat it too? Like, really? I have to eat it?
It's not bad enough you just handed it to me?
Yeah, but what, mysteriously, everything happened at one point in time, and I remember after all that was over, it was kind of like just a big like a weighted blanket was like taken off of your shoulders. 10 weighted blankets were taken off your shoulders, and it all happened.
I can imagine
at once, and everything just went fine.
Yeah.
So I don't question it. I just roll with it.
Sure.
I roll with anything in my life. I just roll with the punches, because you can't change anything.
No.
You know,
absolutely.
you can't change if you get sick. You can't change if anyone dies. You can't change if you break a glass on the floor. It's like, well, you just have to clean it up and move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of how I live my life, man. I just kind of...
Okay.
So how did the ministry thing happen, if you don't mind telling us a little bit about that?
Well, back in, I'd like to say I joined the band in 2015, but I knew that I would have a shot at the gig in probably about September or October of 2014. So I got a call, and it was basically like, hey, would you be interested in auditioning for the band? And I was like, yeah,
of course,
sure, man.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So, you know what? And you know what's funny about that is that during that time, I was about to just stop playing, man.
Right.
I had already said, you know what? I've already given it all I can give, and I was content with just writing tunes and recording songs from home.
Right.
It really satisfied that
itch
for me.
Yeah.
But and I was just about done, because I was trying to put stuff together and nothing was working. Nothing was working. I was running out of people to jam with in town. And it just kind of happened that way. I just got a call. Hey, would you be interested in auditioning? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So, hand me a set list. So, over from about October 2014 to February. October of 2014 to about February of 2015. I did nothing but rehearse those songs, and that was with the understanding that it was just an audition. This wasn't a guaranteed gig. This was just an audition, and I very well understood that it was just an audition, and that there was a big chance that I probably wouldn't get the gig, and all that rehearsing for those amount of months, serious hard rehearsing. I'm talking about YouTube research of live videos to see how, because not everything that you hear recorded is exactly the way it is live.
Right. I always do the same thing whenever I'm trying to learn a song.
Yeah. And so that's the way it happened. I flew out to Burbank, California, February of 2015 with my passport in hand, and that I had just gotten a couple of weeks prior. Flew out. They called me on a Friday. They were like, can you be here tomorrow? I'm serious.
Wow.
Me on a Friday. Can you be here on Saturday? And I was like, yeah. So, I talked to my wife, and my wife gave me the go ahead, and that was it, man. End of story. 2 weeks later, I started a whole new life in the music world. Very, very, very fortunate to be able to have started that life, man. Because I still trip out. I can
only imagine.
Part of this. I don't know. That's so.
We're tripping out, talking to you, tripping out. So
yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah, and it's a cool story, man. Because with that, there's, when people talk to musicians and stuff, and even when I meet people that are somebody in either the music world or the movie world or whatever, you know what I mean? I think people just have to remember that we're just like normal folks, you know what I mean? We have families and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I think about that, I'm like, wow, this is super cool, man. I've had the opportunity to be able to kind of, live my life. I remember there was a point in my life where I said, you know what, I don't care what I do in my life, as long as there's not stress in my life, and as long as I'm happy. It was kind of like an understanding with the universe, you know what I mean? To say that, you know what, man, I can be happy. I just want to be happy, and that's it. And
that's awesome.
became what I've always wanted to do. So I don't question it, and I really appreciate it. You know,
I think it's really.
Ahead,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, Bart. Go ahead.
I think it's really cool that like you're also like you're so down to earth. Like, I mean, you know, I met you after a show in Jersey. Like, not gonna lie, it was like 3 a.m. I was drunk off my ass. I've been drinking absinthe all night. I was like smoking joints on the sidewalk all night, and like
this was in Jersey.
Yeah, I was in Jersey. I think it was.
Where and when?
I forget the name of the opening band. It was with Ministry. They had the guys had the huge like the huge like chicken Donald Trump like things on stage.
I know that was in
I think it began with a W. Wellmont.
Yeah, the Wellmont Theater, is that
it?
Okay, and that's not too far away from New York City, right?
Right.
Maybe like an hour drive or so.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I remember passing through like Giant Stadium to like on the way there, because I remember we drove out from like Secaucus, right?
Yeah, it's nearby.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and
wow, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was a QXT. That's like the local industrial club.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so there was like a DJ set going on, so you guys were over there.
Okay,
and,
yeah,
you know,
I remember that, man.
Yeah, me and my friends, you know, came down from Connecticut, of course, got a hotel room for the night, and, you know, just went and, of course, had an amazing time at the show, then went to the club after, and cute bartender lady fed me absinthe all night, and I was like sitting on the sidewalk outside, and then like, I'm like, dude. I'm like,
sorry, it was getting dark in my house, so I had to come out here and like appreciate the sunset and stuff. But
yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, man,
it was so cool. I was just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, that's CESAR from Ministry. And it was just like we were just like bullshitting, and like I'm like, dude, this guy's so cool. Like I'm such a drunk like idiot right now, and he's just like totally chill. Like this is a cool dude.
Right. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I really appreciate like you're remembering that and stuff. You know,
how can I forget?
Yeah, I can't wait to get back on the road and stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. You know, this.
I've got a ticket to the same place.
Oh yeah, we are doing the same place. I saw that.
I'm still holding on to the same ticket from when it was still KMFDM and
nice.
When the tour was supposed to happen before the pandemic. Like I had my ticket ready, so I still got it.
I'm happy going out again, man. I mean, the last time we were on stage together was that was November of 2019.
Yeah, man.
Wow,
that's crazy.
On the Slayer tour, on the very last Slayer show.
Wow.
Really, the 2 last Slayer shows.
Wow.
Well, we ended up doing the whole tour, but yeah, the last time I ever stepped on stage with the rest of the guys was at the Forum in Los Angeles, at the LA Forum, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Especially for a show like that, man. That's historic right there, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that tour was nothing but a fun tour, man. Everyone was so cool. All the bands and crew were so awesome, so welcoming, and it was just one of those comfortable tours that you wish would not end, and it just goes by too quick.
Yeah,
and you realize, man, we've been like doing a month together, but yeah, and that was actually one of the best times and best tours that I've ever done personally.
Sure.
Because it's just a whole different animal. You're like playing arenas and
right,
and it's a whole different world.
Could you
even
imagine?
God, once in my life,
even on,
I'd love to.
Yeah, you
it's a whole different world because these places are just much bigger, and so sound just travels like further.
And the fans are going nuts, and they're screaming along, and it's like, this is crazy.
I think the biggest place I ever played was the Webster main stage.
Right.
Well, that's cool, man. Honestly,
but it was opening for Dope, and there was a lot of people there, so it felt really cool at the time. All right.
Yeah, honestly, like some of the best and some of the most intimate shows, or some of the best shows that you could possibly play. You know what I mean?
I do agree with that.
Because there has to be an audience connection, and there has to be a connection with your audience, and the closer you are, the more you feel a connection. I mean,
absolutely.
Music is its own language, and
and it's even a universal language.
It is a universal language, yeah.
And it's like its own religion too, because it's like even people that don't speak the language of the music that's being played, you can still feel it by notes and by
resonance and all that things. Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, you know, do you ever hear a song that like gives you the chills and it gives you?
Yeah, we were talking about. We were literally talking about that earlier because I used to run a radio station myself, and we used to have guests come in and do like acoustic sets live in front of us, and it's like, man, I wish I could go back to that because seriously, my arm hairs are standing up, and I'm like experiencing something that I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't necessarily get to experience any other way. It was
that just goes to show that you're experiencing something that is beyond us, and it's beyond language, and it's beyond it's just a gift, man, that's given to us, you know, to be able to feel, and it's part of the physical world and the physical realm that we live in, you know what I mean? To listen to something and for something to make you feel a certain way, whether it's happy, sad, or just like in the moment and get the chills, that's pretty amazing. That's beyond this world, dude.
Sure.
So, I couldn't agree more, man.
And I tell you, man, there are definitely times you hear a song and I'll stop for a second and I'm definitely back in wherever 19, whatever it was. And like, oh man, you know, I remember this particular thing happening when this song was playing. You know what I mean? It's like a smell almost.
It's like, exactly. It triggers the senses and it brings back. And, you know, music helps program memories of a certain time that people like to relive. You know what I mean? I like to replay a song because it you know, certain songs I like to replay because it takes me back to a certain time where I, you know, have a lot of great memories. You know what I mean? But same with bad memories or sad memories.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
And then that song comes on, you're like, oh, wait, no, you gotta turn that song up, man.
Yeah, hit the skip button.
Skip it.
Yeah. So, but hey guys, I am gonna jump on my bike ride here. I'm gonna try and knock out like 16 miles on a bicycle.
You've been more than generous with your time. I thank you so much.
Absolutely, really appreciate it, man.
Pleasure and blast.
And I don't know if I did say it, but happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, man, and keep doing what you do and just stay happy in your life, man. I think that's the key to, for me, like when someone asks about success, like success to me is happiness. You know what I mean? It's not
true.
It's not, you know, monetary. It's not, it's nothing else but being happy in your life, man. So I wish you happiness on your birthday and many birthdays to come.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been a long, rough road, but you know, I'm starting to get to that happiness thing that you're talking about. I think I know what it means now.
Yeah, and it's out there for everyone, man. You have to find it, and they'll come to you too, man. You know what I mean? Whether on a bike ride or whatever, you know what I mean? I kick my ass on a bicycle, and it gets me thinking, and I fix my brain like that. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
Whatever your thing is, keep doing your thing, man, and just stay happy. And like
it's music. It's just on a smaller scale.
No, it's a universal scale, so it's on a big scale.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Caesar, thank you so much. Things. Oh, go ahead, Bart.
Damn, you made me forget him now. No, so first thing, you know, I'd like to give you a minute to like plug whatever you want us to look into, you know. I know you got the riffsputin.com. You got some awesome shirts and stickers and pics and stuff.
Yeah, so Riffsputin, honestly, the riffsputin.com stuff, it started off as desperation, actually. Desperation because of the pandemic, man. You know, not the two industries that I work in, which is music and the nightlife,
right? Media, you know, and scene and shows.
Those were totally dead. So I was like, you know what? How am I going to try and you know, help my family survive? You know what I mean? I always have my family on my mind to be able to make sure that they are okay and taken care of. So that's where the shirt idea came from. You know, I literally woke up like at 2 or 3 in the morning in a panic and an idea at the same time. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do shirts. So that morning I jumped on it and made it happen within a week, and it kind of like took off and stuff. And so that's how that happened. But you could, if you check out riffsputin.com, those Riff Sputin shirts are available. Soon I'm putting the Man the Mute shirts up, and that's my new project. If you go to riffsputin.com, hopefully within the next 3 weeks or so, I'll have Man the Mute shirts up, as I'm starting to release singles. So I'm starting to release singles at least once a month. June 4th, the new song is going to be on all streaming platforms, and that's a song called Blotter, and that's going to be with an actual video that's being done by Industrialism Films. And currently there's a song called Give 'Em Hell that's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. Anywhere you can find digital music, it's on there now. So just search for Man the Mute, and that's me.
And we're gonna play that song tonight too, so people can get a little taste of that.
Awesome. And crank it, man. I got many more songs coming, so at least once a month.
Can't wait. That's so awesome, man. Just real quick, second thing, I don't want to keep you too long. So next show in Jersey, you'll find me outside. I'll buy drinks or food or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Food is cool and coffee is cool. Tea, I don't drink, so
that's cool. Water, that's why I said, whatever. I'm not. It doesn't have to be drinks.
Water, coffee, or good conversation is good with me, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the tour in October, man. And it's been a long time since we've been out, and on top of that, I can't wait to share the Man the Mute stuff with everyone. So hopefully you guys dig it. I'm working very, very hard on it, and it's been my passion for a long time, and I'm finally making it happen. So. Thank you guys for having me, man.
Thank you, man. Very much.
Thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, really.
And hit me up in Jersey when we're there, and we'll hang out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Count on it.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Enjoy your bike ride, man.
Yeah, be safe.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
There you go, guys. CESAR Soto of Ministry. Holy shit, Bart. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
My God.
Dude, I am so proud of you two shitbags right now.
Thank you, some dude. I actually appreciate that.
That was pretty fucking amazing right there.